Chapter 4. Last Call in Savannah. In a quiet corner, tucked away in the historic district, a small local spot was winding down, the last notes of the night drifting lazily through the room. The final notes of the saxophone hung in the air like smoke, slow, smooth, and just a little sad. A tune made for closing time. Luther, still in his beige suit, stood with his eyes closed for a beat before he cracked a smile and gave a small bow. The corner bar erupted in light applause. Not roaring, just warm, familiar. Half the people there had seen him play a dozen times before. Every time, they clapped like it was the first. "That's it for me, folks," he said, voice low and honey thick. "Y'all be good." He set the sax down gently in its open case on a table and made his way back to the bar where his hat and drink were waiting. Bourbon on the rocks, with a twist of lemon and a sprig of mint. The ice was half melted by this point. A group of regulars raised their glasses as he passed. "Sounded real fine tonight, Luth. That last one damn near made me cry. You ever put out an album? I'll be your first customer." Luther chuckled. "Y'all are sweet talkers. Don't go spoiling me now." He sat down at his stool, lifting the glass for a slow sip. Geneva, the bartender, leaned over to top him off without asking. "On the house," she said, "for the encore." "There wasn't an encore." She winked. "There could be." The bar had thinned out now. Chairs flipped on tables. Lights dimmed. Outside, the neon sign hummed a tired lullaby. Luther stayed for a few more minutes, chatting soft with Geneva at the end of the bar, laughing low at an old joke. He didn't rush. He never did. Eventually, he stood, stretched, and let out a satisfied sigh. "All right, y'all. This old man's got to walk it off before I fossilize." He packed up his saxophone, shook a few hands, gave Geneva a kiss on the cheek, and stepped out into the hush of the Savannah night. Behind him, Geneva flipped the open sign to closed. The streets were soft now, quiet. Luther strolled like he had all the time in the world, jacket unbuttoned, saxophone in hand, hat tilted just so. He didn't look like a man leaving work. He looked complete. A few blocks down, a sharp reminder hit him. "Guess it's time to break the seal," he muttered, veering off between two buildings. The alley was dark. Savannah had hundreds of them, thin veins threading behind her polished skin. Damp bricks, slick with old rain, narrow walls. Steam rose faintly from a nearby vent like a ghost exhaling. Luther had used this one before. Familiar footing. Tonight, though, the shadows felt thicker, hungrier. He leaned against the wall with a groan, unzipped, and let out a long breath. Chuckled at something someone had said back at the bar. Then he heard it. A scrape, like a whisper, buried beneath the city's hum. He straightened, turned slightly, eyes squinting into the dark. "You good, friend?" he called. "Didn't mean to interrupt, if you're already using the facilities." No answer. Then a flicker of movement at the alley's end. The warmth drained from his face. "I got nothing but brass and breath," he said, voice still calm. "Ain't worth much to anyone." Still nothing. Then he saw them. In the darkness of the far alley, two glints of red caught the light. Too high, too still. Eyes, unblinking, fixed on him with a patience that didn't feel human. The air thickened. Sound slipped away. The crickets fell quiet. Even the night seemed to hold its breath. His fingers tightened around the sax case. Then the shadow lunged from the dark, so fast it felt less like a motion and more like a decision. One moment, Luther was upright. The next, his skull cracked hard against the wall with a wet thud. The saxophone case flew from his hands, burst open on the ground. Brass gleamed, then red. He tried to scream, but the air had already left him. Claws gripped his shoulders like iron hooks. Fangs tore, not bit, tore into his throat. Veins shredded, flesh pulled apart. Blood sprayed the wall in wide arterial arcs, hot, violent, then slower. Luther kicked once. A shoe came off. His foot scraped the bricks. Then, nothing. His body hung limp, twitching only when the thing feeding pressed harder. It didn't rush, just fed. Steady, jaw working, throat pulsing with each swallow. The mouth pulled away, red drunk and reverent. The creature crouched over him for a beat longer, then slipped backward into shadow. Luther slumped to the ground like a marionette with cut strings, eyes wide, mouth still parted mid-word. Blood puddled slowly beneath him, catching the moonlight in a dull, glistening smear. The last sound was a hollow breath escaping his chest. Then silence. Just the moon, the alley, and a broken tune lying in a saxophone case, still catching the light.